Hi guys, welcome to the Gun Shop with me, John.
I'm me, Cam.
And today we're going to be talking about beating. And we're not going to be beating Cam with our fists, we're talking about beating on a shoot day. And what beaters are.
Thanks for that.
And what they do. And what they wear, and what you should do if you're going beating as well. Because we realised that actually it's not common knowledge apparently, and there's very little online telling people what beating is and what to do. Cam, what is a beater?
A beater is just a general dog's body for a shoot day. This can be anyone from a 6-month-old child up to a 90-year-old man, just who enjoys going out in the countryside. They don't have to enjoy shooting. It's literally just a nice day out for people walking around, having fun, bit of a laugh.
It's a good day.
And you get paid for it,
and
in most cases.
And what does a beater do?
So, main role for a beater is working in a team, in a line, pushing birds forward, making noise and pushing towards guns.
Okay. Before we go any further, I think we should explain how a drive works. A drive is a portion of a shoot day where the guns stand in a line. This is hard to do without using shooting terminology. Where shooters stand in a line for a certain amount of time whilst you push a certain piece of land over their heads. That is a drive.
Yeah.
That sound
yeah.
right? Okay. So what we're going to do is you're going to move in to this wonderful piece of paper and listen to us as we play drawing. Come in. So we have here a portion of land, okay? And what we have is we have a little valley. This is the edge of the valley, just so you know. This is the valley edge. There is a line of guns stood in the bottom, a line of shooters, and they'll be stood something like this. Okay. Sound alright, Cam?
Yeah.
Yeah? Or would you like to draw the rest?
Draw the rest. Okay.
Go on.
So, is that just the other side of the valley?
That's the back side of the valley.
Okay.
I just thought it was necessary because valleys have two sides, generally speaking.
Just to cover it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as a team of beaters, depending on how they want to push it, you could be...
Draw a cover crop.
Yeah, that'd be a smart one.
So a cover crop is a crop or a field of plants that is planted purely for cover. So that game birds will go in there, live in there, feed in there, hide in there, enjoy there on a daytimely basis.
Yep. So more likely than not, they'll have what's known as their home wood, where they will have a pen over behind the other side of the valley, where they will go to roost and sleep and things. And the cover crop be on the opposite side, and they will travel over there during the day, and this is where they'll feed, and then they'll go back at night to sleep. So putting the guns in the middle just means you can push them back home where they want to go naturally, and push them straight over the top of the guns.
So what is a beater's role in this, Cam?
Beater's role is to line out, so you'll have people out on the flanks. Flanks, just as a general term, just to stop birds from peeling out and flying out to the sides.
The aim of the game to get the birds over these 7 guns. It's quite small.
So you can have a team of beaters pushing in each side. They could be dogging in other fields, which means people walking through other fields and just pushing more birds in to this one bit of land.
To get your concentration into this cover crop.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a cover crop, by the way, guys. It can be a woods.
It can be a wood.
This is like the thing, and there'll be a flushing point. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Sorry.
Usually down here in Hampshire, this will be something like a maize cover crop. You call it the cob style.
God's crop.
Yeah. So the most common method of beating, the technique, is to do a sort of horseshoe shape that you'd form out in an arc, or a bit more steeper than that, really. And one side will move on, the other sides will move on, and you
draw like a second line position.
Yeah. So you'll have your line out, and there'll be 15 to 20 beaters all lined out with a nice gap between each of them. And your next position will probably want to be up towards that flank, coming up to the back of that cover crop, and up to that flank. And then your final bit, you'll want to start. This flank here will stop. This will stop. A couple might be down here. A couple of beaters might be down here. Just a flag, which is
stopping the birds running to the guns because you want them
flying,
preferably.
So people here just flagging to get the birds up and over the guns.
What is flagging? We'll talk about flagging later.
We'll talk about that. And this back line, most important, pushes through this crop, and they just work that through. And when it comes to the end, all hell breaks loose, really. Yeah. You want it to be a nice, slow, steady flush, just trickling birds over the guns. Give them time to shoot and enjoy the day, really.
As you can see, there's very important things here. Is these lines are quite straight. So as a beater, it's quite important that you look to the guy on your left and your right so that the line doesn't look like this. Because it's not a pulse. Yeah. It's a straight line. You don't want
one of your men being back there.
It's a hole in the line and birds can then peel out of here. Think about it like, you know, the Roman army at war. And it should be equally as precise. It's very tactical. But it's the keeper's job to keep you in a... It's your job to stay in line, but it's your keeper's job to tell you where to be in your line and what to do. So as long as you listen, generally, as a beater, and you understand the vague concept as you start here and you finish here, or you start here and you finish here, you can't go too far wrong, I don't think.
You usually walk in a straight line, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's all...
As a newbie, anyway, you'd start off being given the easier jobs.
Stand between him and walk that way.
Yep. With your different flanks, your different positions on your left and your right, there'll be someone running each of the lines. So someone will be running this straight line at the back, pushing it forward through the crop. Someone will be running that line to keep that straight and keeping the flanks lined out, and someone will be running this line.
There's plenty of radios and plenty of communication, so
everyone stays in contact.
And as a beater, you'll be doing anywhere between 3 and 6 of these drives a day. And each one will be different. The valley will be different. The guns will be different. The crop or the cover will be different. And shoots can have anywhere up to like 30 drives each. So it takes a while to get au fait with an estate and its drives, certainly. And certainly if you do it one time this side and one time this side, you won't necessarily learn. So it's quite a complex thing, beating. As simple as it is, it can become very complex. Yes. But that is what beaters do. You push squares of Sharpie marker out towards dots on a map.
Obviously you wouldn't do this on a walking stick, but...
Well, you could do.
Yeah.
It's a big flag. Nice. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. The bright orange ones that are made out of this fabric aren't as good as a bag, as a feed bag.
So most of these things will just be a stick with a feed bag cut in half stapled to it. They make a better rustling noise.
Yep. Better crack, really.
Yeah, they don't last as long, but that's fine because generally speaking, on a shoot you will be provided with your own flag, or your own flag. There will be a bucket of flags, and you will take one and put it back at the end of the day. Though certain people take their own, certain old beaters will have their own preference. Some shoots won't allow flags, for partridge shoots, for example. A lot of those won't allow flags, and you have a stick instead for tapping stuff. Or this is another good use for chameaux. Sorry. You can't get hurt in a pair of chameaux by tapping yourself, but you can do it on a pair of boots as well. But they're less protected, surprisingly, than shams. So you have a stick or a flag, and the stick of the flag is for directing birds. A flag up, or when someone says flag up, you put your flag in the sky, can help turn birds toward guns if they're busting out the sides. A crack of a flag sounds like a bird's wings going off, so it can help birds flush, because they'll generally go together for safety. Ridiculous, isn't it? So, what do you wear beating? Cam, what do you wear beating?
I go for the more traditional look, really. Tweed. I just think you look a lot smarter if you're wearing tweed.
You never know who you're going to meet on a shoot day, certainly, and what opportunity is going to present to you, regardless of what trade you do and what you do. And as Cam rightfully says, there's nothing wrong with dressing smarter. But there's nothing saying that you don't have to dress unsmart either.
Yeah, t-shirt and jeans.
T-shirt, jeans, you might get cold and wet. But you can wear what you like as a beater, generally speaking, it doesn't really matter. Some shoots will demand you wear a tie and tweed and stuff, but that's quite rare, really.
Yeah.
Is warmth and waterproofness, I'd say, are a priority.
The two priorities, being warm and being waterproof.
And comfortable is also part of that. You don't want to wear a pair of trainers for walking 15 miles a day, really.
No.
Though I've seen it.
Or walking along banks and big valleys and
through mud and
twisting your
ankles.
ankles.
And, But so I think actually what to wear is really simple. Something warm and waterproof. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be part of the crowd, and every shoot is different as to what you wear. Cam chooses to wear tweeds,
Yeah.
and I think that's fine, and I would do exactly the same. Perhaps not your best tweeds, but something like that. Certainly tweeds and a tie.
Yeah.
Because
tweed and tie is, in my eyes, an like necessity after going to college and bumping into people that you wouldn't think you would meet. Going on shoot days, you meet people that you might not know about.
You'll never get asked to do anything else if you're dressed like a chav. No. No. But you know, if you're in tweed, you can go loading if they need a loader, you can go picking up if they need a picker up, you can help.
Yes.
And that's that, I suppose. So wear what you want, pretty much. Moving on. How to act on a shoot day as a beater.
Mm-hmm.
Cam. How would you act? What'd you do? No, that's terrible. So, how do you get into it is the next question. I'm asking you.
Oh, okay.
So, how did you get into it? That's the other question, Cam.
I started off by just looking on forums, really.
Yeah.
Just, people were looking for help, like on Facebook pages.
Facebook's great for that, actually.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of people. There's a very high demand for beaters at the moment.
And
mainly,
because you're not highly paid for a day's work, it's more about the day out, as you said. It's hard to find people who are happy to do it.
Yeah, I mean, mainly the thing is people starting to move around from shoot to shoot. They've got 4 or 5 shoots that they go on.
There's always going to be a day or two that clashes, and a shoot's going to be without beaters.
But yeah, I think Facebook is probably the #1 way of getting into it at the moment.
Yeah.
Facebook pages are just full of people asking for beaters.
Yeah.
When can they go out shooting? Where can I work my dog? Just things like that.
Yeah. It's good. Dogs. I suppose that's another question. Dogs. What do you think? Although I wouldn't take a dog the first time you go beating.
No, don't take it the dog.
I wouldn't take it a dog the first time you go to any new estate either, really, unless you're asked to specifically.
Yes, unless you're asked to bring a dog, don't bring the dog. Dogs, in my eyes, are always a help on a shoot day.
Good dogs.
Good dogs, shall I say. At least sort of trained, as long as they come back when you want them to.
I think coming back when that's all you really need is a beating dog.
Yeah.
The ability to stop when they've got 100 birds in front of them, which is quite attractive to most dogs.
Yeah.
So you have to have,
I don't know, a little bit of training in that.
yeah, like not a bad dog.
But yeah, spaniels, very common down here in Hampshire because of nettles and brambles and things. They can just push out, they can do the job of 10 beaters as one small dog, being able to work for a massive patch of brambles and things that you can yourself walk over or crawl through. Yeah. At least the dog can do that.
Plus they're kind of foxy in size, and I think birds are naturally much more scared of foxes and dogs because they've grown up around humans, obviously, unless you're on a wild bird shoot, which we won't talk about now, we're not overcomplicating this. And I suppose finally, how do you act as a beater on a shoot day? How do you talk to the keeper? Do you talk to guns? I think every shoot's different on that, certainly. But what do you think?
As the first time going, you want to be as smart and as respectful as possible. Don't turn up wearing dirty clothes and things. Make yourself look presentable.
Be polite.
Be polite to people.
To everybody.
Absolutely everyone.
And do what you're told.
Yeah. I think the key thing is when you do meet the keeper who's going to be in charge of you for the day, you have to address them politely, call them sir, and just be really nice. You'll
soon usually be introduced by their first name, and it doesn't take long to become friends with them, but I think it's always about to set yourself off on the right foot. And I've met some keepers who do like to be called sir by the beaters, still, which I find all a bit
odd, but you know.
Odd. What you definitely don't do is ask them for their flag. No, right, Cam.
That's right.
Yeah. That's all I have to say, really. Though, if you've got any questions, please stick it below. This is perhaps not the most helpful video in the world, but it's about the most information we can find out there as to what beating is for somebody who's never been or hasn't been before. Like I said, if you've got any questions, stick them below, and me and Cam will try and answer them for you. Yeah. Apart from that, take care, and if you're interested in getting out and you really are struggling to find somewhere, drop us a message. We've got contacts all over the country. We'll be able to find you somewhere. Take care. Good luck. Goodbye.